Good afternoon, I think. Anyway, thank you very much for this opportunity to be here. The invite, it's just great seeing many faces, and thankful for name tags because they don't always fit together in a short look. The previous three speakers now have eliminated most of my notes, which you'll be pleased to know. This being chair is a representative of all of you guys. The counselors, the directors, staff, and whoever else I might have missed, I apologize. I was very fortunate to have the staff that we had. Brian was a great leader, a great helper, supporter, you name it, and the rest of his staff, Valerie and the back office. It was a privilege to work with those kind of people, and I looked at the organization 50 years now, and although there were two one-year term, but you're on your second, really, general managers. That's something in a 50-year span. The consistency. I looked at the legal counsel here, same guys, 50 years. And I appreciate the work that I remember working with you in some fashion or other over the years, and I appreciate that. So the egg producers, yes, and it's great to see young people here, but it's the consistency of it. The next generation is moving in. There's new entrants, and that's great to see too. But it's also nice to see families passing it on, new guys coming in. I always felt as chairperson, and I think Gerald touched on it, it was a function of many people, not the chair. I'm not up here now saying this is what I did, because I have no idea what I did. I was chair. And I had a great group of directors working with me. The other confusing factor when I go back in my feeble mind is I was vice chair for many years, on the executive board for so many years. And so what happened when, fortunately Valerie did give me a few notes of sequences, which I won't go through all of them now, but I came in on an era, and I think we were just getting into this. Everybody was doing strategic planning. We went through 2 or 3 sequences. First one was murder on the directors. Oh golly, we know what we're doing. We're farming. We're gathering eggs. What's a strategic plan all about? But we worked our way through that, and a couple of years later, we had another one, and that was good fun. Cholesterol. We finally, and maybe it happened a little earlier, I don't know exactly when, we decided let's hit that head on. The media, some of the public is attacking us about cholesterol in eggs, and our advertising took a direct hit of how valuable the egg is, and that the cholesterol you eat is not damaging your heart. So that was a big turn in strategically planning our media promotion. We also got into the NAFTA, and as we mentioned here before, rallies were held. What was NAFTA going to do to our egg production? And all around that time, or even a little earlier, we had started with the breakfast at Queen's Park. The egg board would serve breakfast to all the members of the legislature who were available, and I don't know if it grew out of that or if it had already begun. Brian mentioned it, the visiting of the members at the house, at the legislature, meeting. We met almost all the sitting members at one time or another, both sides of the House, both sides of the legislature. And eventually, we also did that nationally. Of course, not to step on the other provinces, we would only visit the Ontario members in the legislature. So and we began I think Brian did mention it, we also began, I think that was in connection with the SEMA, now it's Egg Farmers of Canada or something. Anyway, in connection, we started the breakfast at Ottawa. I think for brevity, I will stop at that. It's been my pleasure. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of the meeting.